Hi, I'm Rich Colgard, publisher and Innovation Rules columnist for Forbes Media, and welcome to CIO Next, where we talk to leading CIOs, and especially in this series, how CIOs interact with their C-level peers. And we have a great example today. We have the Chief Information Officer of $6.5 billion network storage and data management leader NetApp, the CIO Cynthia Stoddard, with her C-level peer, Chief Marketing Officer Julie Parrish. Thanks for coming on the show. Now, a recent Forrester study said that the CMO-CIO relationship in most companies is not all that good, and that these two roles historically fail to collaborate as effectively as they can. Thoughts on that?
I think that's possible in some organizations, but I don't think that's the case here. We have common interests, and that interest being the success of the company, and we work together to make sure that happens.
There's a lot to be said for just the mutual respect and trust, and I think the way you get to that as quickly as possible, quite frankly, raising my hand and saying, I know we have a shadow IT problem across the company. I think I might actually be guilty of that. Why don't you come on in and take a look? I think really opened the door for, okay, I'm going to be transparent. We can now have a transparent conversation that's not about egos or emotions or anything else. It's about really getting to the right answer. So I think it's as much on the marketing side to be transparent, open the door, and be willing to say, hey, maybe I shouldn't be owning all of this stuff. Maybe you can do some of this better.
What do you think trips up then most companies that fail to get it?
Some relationships tend to be very territorial. And, this is my space, I'm the technology, person, so, stay out of my space. If you think about technology in any organization today, technology is everywhere. So the traditional walls of IT have basically gone away, so that you have to share that space in some respects. If you think of marketing today, it's not the traditional marketing that it was 10 years ago. I mean, she's out on the web, she's doing analytics. That's all technology based.
The point about not being territorial is such an important one, and helping my team understand that through that process, this is about making sure that in the end they ultimately do get the right technology to achieve what they're looking for, and try not to get so caught up in whether or not you're going to run that technology or own that technology. Let's keep the core competencies in the right place.
Julie's people really need to be proficient in technology in order to do their job, and we need to help people do that. The thought of having all the technology locked up in an IT organization does not work anymore. You have to open it up. You have to encourage self-service. You have to encourage innovation with technology, not only within IT, but in other areas of the company. And I think, at NetApp, that's what keeps us with our innovative edge, is we've got a lot of creative people that are looking at new ways of doing things.
What would you advise to your CIO peers and IT peers who maybe don't have as an enlightened relationship as you have with Julie, how to build that kind of relationship?
I would say start with transparency. Start with what the IT organization's all about, what your cost structure is, and be open and honest about what you can and cannot do.
Describe coming into your role. You're one of these new CMOs that really gets the value of data and metrics in marketing.
One of the first things I did was try to understand what do I actually have in marketing to work with, especially as it relates to the technology and the platforms, and quickly realized that I had an awful lot of people in the organization that were somehow managing technology platforms. So I think to start the relationship off right, I actually raised my hand for an audit and said, we need to take a look at this and understand what I should own and how we transition this if necessary.
We had some concerns actually on the IT side that we raised back to Julie as we did this audit to say, these are really some hot areas that we need to look at. And I think the conversation went really well between the two of us to say, this is what's best, this is what should transition, and this is how we can work together.